Visual: a young person proudly shows off a brand new car, luxury watch, designer clothes. Cut to the same person later, looking stressed, checking a low bank balance and bills. Narration: voiceover: you've been told to invest in assets, but what if I told you some of the things you proudly call assets are actually keeping you broke? Every day, people buy things thinking they're making smart financial decisions. A new car, a nice watch, the latest tech, a luxury apartment, all bought in the name of investing in yourself. But here's the hard truth: not everything expensive is valuable. In fact, some of the most common purchases people make, thinking they're building wealth, are actually draining their bank accounts, piling on debt, and holding them back from real financial freedom. You see, there are two types of assets in this world: the kind that put money in your pocket, and the kind that slowly take money out quietly, consistently, and painfully. And the second kind, that's what this video is about. We're breaking down the 10 worst so-called assets that are silently keeping people poor. These are things you might own right now, things you might be planning to buy, things you were told are a smart idea, but are actually financial traps in disguise. And before you think this video is just about being cheap, it's not. This is about being smart, because real wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about freedom from debt, stress, and living paycheck to paycheck. So if you've ever bought something thinking this will pay off someday, but now you're just stuck with payments, fees, and regret, stick around. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what to avoid and what to focus on instead, so you can start building real wealth, not just the illusion of it. Let's start with the first asset that looks rich but will secretly keep you broke. Let's talk about one of the biggest financial illusions most people fall for: ownership. We're told that owning things is the path to wealth, but the truth: not all ownership builds wealth. In fact, some of it can destroy your financial future. Take this for example. Asset number 1, a brand new car. It looks impressive, feels good to drive, smells even better. But the moment you drive it off the lot, it loses 10 to 20% of its value instantly. And every year, it drops more, while your monthly payment, insurance, and maintenance keep draining your wallet. Unless that car is making you money, like through a business or rideshare work. It's a liability dressed up as luxury. Asset number 2, an expensive home you can't afford. Yes, real estate can be a great investment, but buying a house that's too big or too expensive can become a money trap. High mortgage payments, property taxes, repairs, utilities, they all add up. If it's not generating income, it's not an asset. It's just a very expensive roof over your head. Asset number 3, high-end tech and electronics, the latest phone, the biggest TV, the new gaming setup, all bought on credit, all losing value the moment you open the box. These things are fun, but they don't build wealth. They drain it. Here's the key mindset shift: ownership isn't power unless it increases your value or your income. If something costs you money every month and gives you zero return, it's not an asset, it's a liability. And too many people are drowning in things they own, but can't afford. In the next scene, we'll look at one of the most dangerous types of fake assets, the ones we buy just to impress others. You'll be shocked how much these cost you, not just in money, but in freedom. Now let's talk about a trap that's harder to see because it's wrapped in the desire to feel important. The status assets. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. Social media floods us with images of people flaunting designer clothes, luxury watches, the latest sneakers, and extravagant lifestyles. But here's the harsh reality: most of these status symbols don't build wealth. In fact, they often bury people deeper in debt. Asset number 4, designer clothes and shoes. They look good, but they lose value the second you leave the store. Wearing these won't make your bank account grow. Asset number 5, expensive watches and jewelry. Unless you're buying rare, investment-grade pieces, most watches and jewelry lose value or hold it at best. They don't generate income, they just sit in your drawer. Asset number 6, costly memberships and subscriptions. You rarely use. Monthly payments for gyms, clubs, apps, or streaming services that you barely use add up. These quietly eat into your budget month after month. Here's the key problem: buying status assets often comes with debt. People use credit cards or loans to afford them, thinking they'll pay it off later. But debt doesn't care about your reasons. Interest builds up, payments stack, and before you know it, these so-called assets become a financial burden. True wealth isn't about what you wear or show off. It's about what you keep, financially and mentally. In the next scene, we'll explore hidden liabilities that look like smart investments but can actually cost you dearly. Stay tuned. Some of these might surprise you. Now that we've covered status assets, let's dive into something even more dangerous: hidden liabilities that masquerade as smart investments. Asset 7, expensive online courses or mentorship programs promising quick wealth. They often cost thousands of dollars and promise the moon, but many deliver little value. People get caught in the hype, spending more than they can afford. only to be left with empty wallets and little to show. Asset number 8. Trendy cryptocurrencies or NFTs, bought without understanding the risks. While some people have made money, many jump into the hype without research and lose everything. The market is highly volatile, and what's popular today could be worthless tomorrow. Asset number 9. Timeshares or vacation properties. They seem like a dream, a place to escape. Plus an investment. Right, but timeshares come with hefty maintenance fees and nearly impossible resale value. Most owners regret these purchases. Here's the lesson. Just because something looks like an asset doesn't mean it builds wealth. If it drains your money without generating income or appreciating value, it's a liability, no matter how shiny or promising it seems. Beware of the shiny promises and flashy marketing. In the final scene, we'll wrap up with the last asset on the list and share practical advice on what you should focus on instead. Don't miss it. We've talked about many traps already, but here's the last and one of the most common mistakes people make. Asset number 10. Buying things you don't really need just to motivate yourself. Maybe it's a $2,000 gadget that promises to boost productivity, or expensive gym equipment that collects dust, or fancy books you never read. These purchases feel like investments in yourself, but when they sit unused, they become nothing more than clutter and wasted money. So, what's the takeaway? Real assets are different. They put money in your pocket, grow in value, or save you money over time. Examples include savings and emergency funds, stocks, bonds, or index funds, rental properties that generate positive cash flow, skills and education that increase your earning potential. It's not about denying yourself pleasure, it's about spending intentionally. Ask yourself, will this asset help me grow my wealth or just my debt? If the answer is debt, stress, or financial burden, then it's time to rethink. Building real wealth takes discipline and patience, but it also gives you freedom. Freedom from worry, from living paycheck to paycheck, and from financial stress. If you want to change your financial future, start by cutting out these worst assets. Focus on what truly builds wealth. You don't need to be rich to start, but you do need to be smart. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more tips on building real, lasting wealth. Your journey starts now.